should your spouse discipline your child? So say for instance you're married, but you have you have a child with another man. You know, you had a child before you got married. Should your husband be able to discipline your child? And discipline by whooping.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Like, this is a broad topic. I feel like variables matter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna just say absolutely not. I feel like, as my spouse, not just my boyfriend who I just started kicking it with, or you my boyfriend 5 days ago or for a year or whatever, but I feel like it's unfair to expect you to raise, love, protect, feed, provide for, and everything under the sun, but I draw the line when it comes to disciplinary action. I don't think that's fair. So I do feel like, as a spouse, because if I married you and we've been together for this amount of time, I've already used a level of discernment to know that this person has the best interest for me as well as my children before I would even decide to marry you. So if you have to question whether or not your spouse should be able to discipline your kid, that's your kid together, technically, you married the wrong person. That's just my perspective, my take. Now, boyfriend, girlfriend, we're not even about to play like that. I don't even think it's a dynamic for that. However, a spouse, a partner, a life partner, I do feel like it's appropriate. Of course, I'm not gonna feel like my partner is being abusive, because if I saw these signs, or if I feel like this is what's happening, again, this wouldn't be my partner. So I feel like the conversation is only had amongst people who aren't in that situation to experience it. We can all say what we would or wouldn't do. But I feel like it would be a line of, it would create some sort of distance within me and my partner if I draw the line that, hey, but don't hit them, or but don't, tell them to go to their room, or but don't whatever, because it's like, I can do everything else. I'm good enough to do everything else for them. But but I'm not their dad biologically, or I'm not their mom biologically when it comes to disciplinary action. If this is how we rotate in our house, now I'll see if I don't discipline them physically. That's one thing. Yeah. This is something I don't do. I don't expect anybody else to do it. But if I'm known to whoop it, real quick.
Like, because I feel like if her father's in her life, that is when co-parenting comes in. So she's acting out or she's doing something, I discipline her, I call her father, I let him know X, Y, and Z, and he comes and he or she goes there and he do what he gotta do. I don't feel like a man should have that. A man should be disciplining our child if both of us is in her life. You get what I'm saying? But I also would expect her father as well as myself to tell her, and for her to understand, or him, son or daughter, you have to respect this person. You get what I'm saying?